Hello everyone, this is Mohammed.
And this is Luke.
And this is Sweet Canal. We're sweet for you to listen to. It has been a while since we did an episode, and it felt like it has been a pretty long week. We're pretty much wrapping up the semester, so we may be able to talk about a few vacations that we went or may plan on doing. This is we have a very positive energy right now, and we have everything set up and pretty well tight and well.
Yeah, we've progressed. And this is I don't know what episode, but we have progressed.
I think it's the 10th or 11th.
Okay, it's great. I've really enjoyed this semester doing this. It's a totally different and new project for me, and I'm glad to be involved with Mohammed's work. Thank you.
So I'm not yet pretty sure if we're gonna be able to produce more episodes this semester or not, but we're gonna call it today. We're gonna call it season 1 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There might be an extra 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the time and how stressful semester's ending is this
year.
Yeah,
and those can remain lost files until we're found again, right?
the channel is always up.
Yeah.
And if you view it instantly as soon as it's uploaded, you may not get the full experience. You have to kind of wait a little in order for the translations, for YouTube AI to work on the translation, which is a pretty good thing.
Really? Is this
Yes.
being translated?
Yes, so basically, I released the episode to YouTube. Thankfully, the internet is pretty fast in this university, so it uploads in pretty much 3 minutes. But the process of YouTube takes about up to 10 minutes for it to check if there is other videos that are it's copyright stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if video is released as soon as I do that, you may not be able to watch it in HD even. But if you wait a little, you're gonna be able to watch it in HD, and then it goes on a little bit more, and then the auto caption translation will catch the few words that we say. For example, if you are trying to spell something, it's gonna like say separate letters, one or two. Such as you can find this an example right now.
Okay.
For people who are viewing this right now.
That's cool.
So here is that, and when I have the intro, which is like crumbling paper,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
YouTube AI listens to it as clapping. So it's kind of a person who has the program on mute and just only, it's only watching it without any volume. He will say, oh, clapping, interesting.
Okay.
So the AI catches what we say, it doesn't really try to separate what I say and you say, kind of starting to do that, like recognize our voices and see, oh, this is this guy talking, and here's that guy talking, and so on. And,
that's really neat.
With time too, you can check the settings and put like, oh, Armenian, Arabic, Urdu, or whatever. It uses Google Translation, the normal Google Translation that you use for school and stuff, and puts it into that. So first it listens in English and then switches it around. I kind of don't see that in Arabic videos because the AI is not developed enough for Arabic. So for people who are talking in Arabic Arabic videos have to put their own translation or add it to it. And if someone is feeling well enough to contribute to the episode or any other YouTube video, they will be able to go to the setting and say add a translation, and they can add their own translation. YouTube can find its way to trust the user for him to translate to other languages. So even a person who's native in Japanese, for example, can listen to it in English and then translate it. For Japanese people to listen to. So here's that, and YouTube has developed a pretty cool feature, which is playing it on normal speed, x1, x20, x25, x1.5, and x2, and going backwards slower, x75% and x25, or half at least. Half is pretty shredded. It's really slow. So
You like slowing down our videos and watching them?
No.
Okay.
So since we don't talk super fast, because this is not a 2-minute video where we already know what we're gonna say and wrapped it up and scripted and everything, and we can repeat it and so on. So I put it on actually 1.5. I usually put that on almost every someone who's explaining something,
Yes.
especially following pencil drawing tutorials. I'll put it on 1.5. If the video is really slow and it's just like visuals, for example, or something, I'll put it on X2. But sometimes I cannot catch it. But for this show, I put it on 1.5. I would be able to know what we're saying, but faster than usual. And so we'll be able to kind of review the episode one more time before I release it. So sometimes I'll review it after we shoot it on the same night. And then when I edit, and then when I release it to YouTube. So here's that. And let's put music into that. Some musics are slow, so I'll put it on 1.5. It's just listening to the music like all over again, where you know already the music, but the job and stuff is different too. And fast music as well, you know, Eminem, how fast he is. So if you put it at 75, it'll be kind of, you'll be able to catch some words what he's saying.
Right. You can hear the story a little bit more. Because for rap and hip hop, I think that what I appreciate out of that genre of music is the story, the intensity of the story. I mean, it is intense usually. It is intense. To listen to a rap or hip hop song a lot of times is intense, whether it's Kanye or the Beastie Boys or Ice-T, Dr. Dre, any of those guys. It's tough stuff, having to deal with the lives that they communicate to us through their music, which is their real life. I mean, much of this is 2 Chainz, real stuff.
It is. So,
real talk.
Yeah, right. If we're gonna talk about hip hop and rap, which I don't usually cover it.
No, I just brought it up because it's storytelling a bit. I just brought it up. You don't need to go there if you don't want to.
I like to go there sometimes.
Okay.
You know, it's one of the things I appreciate. If a rap song or a hip hop song says, "I got that, I can do, I have that, my pockets are filled with, I drive this, I wear that," keep them.
Keep what?
Keep those. Keep that song for you.
Okay.
But if you have a story to tell, you went there, that happened, and so on. Usually, a person who I appreciate under that is Eminem. He tells a lot of stories in his his shows, in his music. It's only fair. He's born with a set of horns. That's what he said. He has a.
Say that again. What did he say?
I'll have to pull that up. It's only fair. I don't know. I don't have it in mind. I would prepare for the other episode.
Okay.
But I tried to rap it by myself. It was okay. But when I started to follow him, it is not okay. Because he takes breath on different times than I do. And, it's my second language. So here's that. Biggie Smalls, he has that song that says, "I got a story to tell." It has the title in it. And it says
He's got a good flow.
Got a good flow. One of the good people is Tupac. He was lost young, even though he was young and the beginning of the internet era, he's still done a lot. So if you have a skill, if you have a gift, going to the right people is...
Going to the right people. Going to the right people is so big. And these people may not be in your town. They may not be anywhere around near you. They might have to be professors in a different country. They might be film producers. They might be writers. They might be educators. Not anywhere around here. Or they might be in your backyard. They might be your own professors. Who knows? Depends.
Who knows?
Depends on what the work is.
That's true. If you keep quiet and wish for things are not gonna happen at all. But if you go ahead and do something, you may have to do it yourself, or you may someone else may hear that and may be able to help you.
If they want to. I will tell you that I know people in my life who get a lot of support from friends.
True.
Or family. I get a lot of support from my family and friends. I feel I'm very lucky. My girlfriend gets a lot of support from her family and friends. I feel lucky about that too. That means our children, which I'm not really exactly talking about, but I think it's important that in my life I'm able to acknowledge the people who make a difference.
Acknowledge.
Yeah.
I wish that I have a radio show such as this one, or a podcast, or something that I can actually produce on TV. I kept wishing on it.
You're developing that. You're in charge of that.
I'm telling that right now.
Okay.
I kept wishing it on that. I'm just wishing on that. On how am I gonna do that? I just wish that I can. I just wish that I can. You know what? Just put that on the side. And I actually went ahead and started this show. No camera, nothing. I just I'm just gonna start that. And Luke shows up with a camera, and then my professor says I can put that on TV, which is now on TV actually.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I think we talked about that. I know. Last week I said
I didn't know you had them up. Going.
No.
Wow.
Yes,
this is great.
Yes.
People all over the world. This is awesome.
If you have time or no access, go to a channel called KHENTB or channel 17, and you can go ahead over there and boop and watch that.
Excellent.
It's usually at 12 at midnight. That's one of the episodes.
God, proud of you.
And the other timing is usually sometimes it's 11 a.m., 1:30, 4:30. Or like 9 p.m. depends on the schedule itself. I'm gonna be able to manage that more with time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of training on that TV channel and be able to put that all together.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have the perfect timing because like on Sunday, there's football and stuff. At 9 there's like Family Guy, The Simpsons.
Really? Right now? You mean in general?
In general, so people will be busy. So I don't know yet which time is perfect, but for now I'm just trying out times and see how it's happening, if I have a feedback or not.
Okay.
And we'll see how we put that around.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Okay, so with that in mind, first off, Mohammed and I had talked about it. We had referenced that in the beginning of our first couple shows of this season. And I'm just so proud of Mohammed for getting that taken care of, because there's a lot of conversations that have to go on. There's teaching, and he has to show up and work with a variety of different people. So that's awesome. That is moving our agenda and programming forward, not just for our show, but for everybody here at UMKC. Mohammed is now in charge of that, and that is very, very cool. When we think about this KHEN, which I love the call letters, they're great. I feel KHEN, right? We are going to be able to do a lot with that. One of the things I've been talking about is next year. Every year there's Entrepreneurial Week. It doesn't matter. It's usually in November, but it's really important that I think that some of this content next year gets taped. Entrepreneur, right? It's Entrepreneur Week, which is hosted by the Kauffman Foundation, which is located in Kansas City, and they do this event globally. It's the second or third week of November, and so I'm very excited. I had been talking to some of the professors about the opportunity to get that show or that entire week program taped and edited and up, and maybe that's something that we can put on our production list for next year. But it's something I brought up last week, which we don't have enough time to take care of now. But yeah, I'm really glad to hear about that. Okay. Thank you for doing that.
Whose alarm is that? Oh my God. Somebody's sleeping.
Somebody outside.
Okay, so we are coming like we're recording this and we are students of UMKC, University of Missouri, Kansas City, which provided us with this amazing opportunity to do this, to be able to have a board, mics, and a whole room for us to record this. Shout out to UMKC and saying this campus is pretty safe. It feels great.
I feel very safe here.
This is my second
I love
semester. My
it.
first
I love it
semester
here.
is the summer, and the
Mhm.
fall is my second semester, which is current.
It's very beautiful campus.
It is
Wonderful.
beautiful.
Mhm.
And there is always something happening. There's always
Mhm.
something going on.
Very busy.
There are the kiosk where you can check for things.
It's so
And-
busy, I can't even keep up, man. I'm serious. I would love to be involved more, but right now we're living so far, and this is very heavy involvement. 2 hours of work on this Wednesday with Mohammed is good.
Yes, 2 hours on camera and 2 hours off camera at least.
So, yeah.
There are emergency calls where you can just push a button and campus police, not security, will help you if you like to. If you don't feel safe during your master's program, which is like usually the classes at night or ends at 10 or so, and you want someone to accompany you to your dorm or something, that will be all okay
That's awesome.
and helpful.
Mhm.
Almost every I ran into a lot of we'll just say issues when I started school. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know stuff like that.
Mhm.
So almost every person I reached up to, office or students, would just say, yeah, you can go there or you can do that.
Mhm. People are very helpful here.
Yes.
Very helpful. I mean, I love it here, Mohammed. I feel very blessed. I feel protected by the walls and the trees here on some level. I do. It feels very Harry Potter-esque, and it does. I mean, we go to school inside castles pretty much, and that's pretty cool.
Yes, indeed. I mentioned that because I heard the alarm. So the alarm means someone is waking up or so on or something, and which I can see some students are taking a nap in student union. There are those big pillows, you can call it beanbag or something.
Totally.
Yeah, is it called beanbag? They're just, I'm gonna call them big pillows,
They're
and they
big.
are very comfortable. You can just lay down over there, and if you are an international student or you have people from another city or someone you want to Skype with them,
Mm-hmm.
nobody Skypes anymore.
Really?
I don't really.
That's a new thing. Nobody's doing it anymore?
There is FaceTime. There's
Oh, okay,
there's
okay.
Snapchat. You can
Dude?
do DUO do. That's
Okay.
like Do Monday or something.
Okay.
Something like that, which is provided by Google. And
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Powered by. So you can do that. There is a free Wi-Fi for 4 students.
Mm-hmm.
And possible guests, I think so. So you can just actually lay down there and take a nap and just like get on to your next class, you know. And student union, it has a tennis table. It has
Pool tables.
a pool table. It
Mhm.
has an Xbox and a PlayStation where you can basically check out a game and play it. There is a small stage where things happen, usually 6 p.m. or so on, like poetry, stand-up comedy,
All over the
and
place.
stuff.
But here at the student union, yes, they have
Yes.
Jazzman's Cafe.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
that's
You can
good.
pour your own coffee and like they give you the cup and you can make your own mix basically if you like to, like hazelnuts and so on. I recommend Deep Thought. It's a dark coffee blend.
Got it.
Got it. Right. The first thing we would like to talk about is neighbors' importance. Neighbors are pretty important. For one of the things is sometimes they bang on the ceiling and just like make noise. That's one thing.
In an apartment complex, yeah. Or a condo.
Sometimes their dog jumps into your backyard
Mm.
or kid
Or on you.
or on you. And you have to deal with that. Sometimes you need something such as, what is that called, jumper cables,
Or a cup of sugar.
a
or
cup
milk.
of sugar or milk. Yes, I was gonna say salt, but you know.
Sometimes you need to band together with your neighbors to take care of another neighbor.
I'll take care of it. You know, I was sleeping. I was reading my newspaper, and I saw my neighbor. He was sitting there as well, and it was 7:20 p.m. and we did not leave the house. I don't know. We heard some noises, but you know it's usual because Tom is usually noisy. But so we never actually bat an eye. So we just looked at each other from our windows and say, "That's Tom."
He's probably saying, "That's Mom."
He usually does that, and we have no idea what happened.
Okay. Or what happens?
What happens? Usually, neighbors have each other's keys. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it comes up to that.
Sometimes.
If you are very old
If
neighbors.
you're very old and close, yes.
Yes. If you travel or
Totally.
something.
You're right.
they
My
would,
grandparents did that with their neighbors.
Yeah, they would water the plants. They would like feed the kitties. And not the dog for real, but you may be able to babysit, dog sit your dog. Currently, I live in an apartment complex, and my current neighbor's importance, even though like it has been going on less and less because you know weather changes. I can handle the heat. I cannot handle that. I mean, I can handle the heat. But they cannot, and I can handle I cannot handle the cold for reals, and they can. So I don't really meet them as much as I used to, but they are still important. And we used to like sit out on the porch and like talk on weekends, usually Friday or Saturday. The night ends at 11 p.m. The night ends at 1 a.m. Sometimes up to 2. You know,
Okay.
I said night and he started yawning.
I did.
That's fine. That's one of the things. The other thing is, I already mentioned that my neighbor Michael supported and believed in me in doing this show.
Right.
And that was one of the main motives that made me do this. And he still watches it, and he still kind of like give me likes on it or something. But back in Saudi Arabia, I have a relative who is trying to build a house. Building a house can be a pretty hectic and difficult process. It's not wood like here. It's different. You cannot like here. Sometimes you can just like hire a contract and just like not worry about it at all. But you will still. But over there, it's you kind of have to do the whole like. You will have to call this guy and that guy. There's not really a cheap guy that you can just like go to and say, I want to build a house, can you take care of it? And you kind of have to be the watchdog of your own house. And you have to consult your family, hey, which is better? Who built his house that way and started to have trouble? Who had a pool in the backyard and never used it? How much space should I have extra for my car? Should I have metal bars on every window, or just the downstairs one and the upstairs or not? Should I have an exit in a certain way? Should I have a lot of plants outside of it and lamps and stuff that will cost me a lot of maintenance? Stuff like that. Stuff that can be strategic. Okay, so my relative, one time I went back to Saudi Arabia, and my relative told me like, "Do you want me to show you the house?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I went there. It's what we call a bone, which doesn't have paint, doesn't have decoration. It's only cement basically. So we went up to the roof and we saw the area, and it's basically empty. There are other houses being built in the same status of situation. There are houses that are already ready. We can see houses from a distance. But other than that, we just see this color.
It's sand.
Yeah.
It's like a mirage then. That house that shows up in the middle of the...
Yeah, no, kind of. It's up and coming neighborhood, we can call it.
Interesting.
Yes.
Wow, I can't even imagine.
So while I was looking up there, I'm saying, oh, my mother told me when they lived in our current house, which is now old, she said that this area used to be empty and such and such. I was like, I cannot believe it. I lived my whole life with a lot of houses around, but now, since my relative is building a house, I can see that yes, it is used to be an empty area, and I took a picture of it. So now I can prove it to whoever comes in 20 years and say, was it really an empty area? Yes, it is.
It must be poised for massive growth. A lot of homes.
Yeah, there is a lot of growth happening, and it's taking over nature, which is something I don't really like, but we'll see. So, what is the neighbor importance comes in here? So, since this up-and-coming neighborhood, electricity may not be there yet, utilities might not reach yet, so you kind of start the house, and a lot of people will kind of do a petition or something to the government, and the government will start, or sometimes already starts, diverse. It's not the same
They
always.
need to set up utilities over there.
There are utilities, but the thing is, he kind of bought a portable water.
Solar?
No, about a portable water tank where he had, because the cement has to be watered every once in a while to be like stronger kind of. So he said that his neighbor has it, not him. His neighbor has the temporary water thing. So he borrows it instead of buying his own. And he extends a wire of electricity to his neighbor so he can run that machine that's called dynamo, which is like brings more water power thing.
Yes.
So it's kind of
Okay.
like here and there. And I said, why are you trying to be a good neighbor already? Like this is starting out. And he said, well, in the future, eventually he will need me and I will need him. So I would better start building a relationship now. And Prophet Muhammad would have a saying which is, be kind to your seventh neighbor. So there's one door here, and go down 7 doors and be kind to all of those, all sides. And I kind of see it now, which is if you can be kind to them, and if you have trouble in your house, which is like somebody broken or something, if you don't have a good relationship with them, they're not gonna report or something just because you don't have a good relation. But if you are kind with them, you will be able to. At least, guys, bake a pie and give it to your new neighbor, or old as well. Simple acts can mean a lot. Oh, we're done with that note. Do you have any social media you'd like to share?
I'm on LinkedIn, Luke Cole, LinkedIn, and that's about it. I mean, I'm on Facebook. No, not anymore. YouTube. No Facebook. We can talk about why I'm not on Facebook, because I think it's a really challenging platform. But I like LinkedIn and I like YouTube, so that's good enough. I like Instagram maybe and Twitter too, but I don't really use this.
Do you have any users of them?
I do. I have a couple thousand, but it's not something I do very often. I'm very inconsistent with social media, and that's because I feel like social media has overrun our life as it is in the last 10 years, and I have a hard time engaging with things. I'm a very sincere, realistic, and I'd say, like, I like to be present. I'd rather be present on a video, or I'd be present in front of you, or on the phone talking with you, than engaging over the various platforms that are making lots of money off of me and you and it, whatever we choose to put on there content-wise. So those are my feelings about that, and I appreciate the breadth of reach that these platforms provide for artists and creatives, and business people. They're very good, but they also cause a lot of drama, and I don't need the drama in my life. I got enough challenges in this world, and Facebook drama isn't one of them. that I need, or that I want, or that I will have.
Social media.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me on Instagram at blacklash4, black as the color, LASH4. And you can find me on Snapchat with blacklash5, black as the color, LASH5. I'm not very active on it, but I try to post something every now and then, because I don't want it to become a habit for me to post something or people to expect something that I post.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it will kind of take me away from my life experience.
Mm-hmm.
If you are walking down the street and you see a person looking down at their phone, those people are not there, but they are there on social media. So choose one of those. Either live your life here or live your life on social media. So
I prefer the real thing.
I prefer the real thing too, and you will learn that. You will learn that with time, hopefully.
That's true, because at some point, and I will say I can't bash social media. I still use it, and when it first came out, and for the first so long, I was very engaged with it. But as I have a family and I have a close loved one and safety for children, I just use it less and less.
Okay, so how can I say that? Being on social media is basically a work. So if you are working too much, you'll be on social media too much, and you can. It's perfect in bringing an idea up and trying to find what people are thinking about, connecting with someone, voting and protest and so on, like kind of for political reason or information reason. But it gets boring after you see one dish and after another dish and after another dish. Those things always has been and will be handled by professionals, well, people who devoted actual time and effort in order to take this picture for you, in order to make you buy that certain food or travel to that country or try that product. Other than that, if you are a private user and trying to do that, if you do not devote an actual time and effort in order to make these for you like profitable first, and to make those actually useful, other than just like entertaining the 60 or 100 people that you have, it's not gonna bring much, unless you just like to do that, and congratulations for yes in your life.
There are some tremendous platforms out there and people running platforms that require mass amounts of participation and lots of, I'd say, pre-set up work and websites that will engage your e-commerce. And these platforms very much heavily rely on e-commerce and social media to get the word out there. But I feel inundated with it. It's too much, and I'm trying to minimize, I'm trying to be a minimalist, and the things that I need to engage with, minimize those just to the most important ones. Trying to take each day more seriously, since I have new responsibilities, and try to do my best, not blasting it out over social media. This is very social, what we're doing here. I mean, this radio show.
That's very social.
And a television program. It's very social. This is a lot for me. Not that I'm not a socially shy individual. It's just that it's I put myself out, like we're putting ourselves out there. Anybody who's doing this kind of stuff, we're not just doing it on the radio, we're also doing it on, now that Muhammad's got that set up on TW 17KN.
That's right. I'm not saying that if you are doing stuff on social media or watching people, you're wasting your time completely.
No.
each one of us has his own waste of time thing that when they enjoy it, such as video games, films, pencil drawing, painting, oil drawing.
Are those hobbies?
Hobbies.
Hobbies if you're not making money at them.
Yes.
If you're using it for business, it's pretty important.
Yes, social media can be one of them, but do not let it like take over your life where you cannot do much without it, where it's taking over your classes time or taking over your driving.
Your life. I mean, I really understand that. I understand that because in the early days, it did, and that's what I'm so glad not to be part of anymore. It just feels like it sucks you in. I mean, 2 hours were here and gone in what felt like 10 minutes.
True. YouTube is becoming more than just a video platform that you can watch things on, such as this program. It's becoming way more profitable. As Joe Rogan said, TV is old, is ancient now. Now we have YouTube and other platforms such as that.
So specialization of what people are watching, people are able to find and hone in on what they really like, because there's so much out there.
Yes, there is
Content-wise.
YouTube Red, which is like $10 a month, where you get access to a more exclusive and more effort or spent more on like shows that have
More expensive productions.
more expensive productions. Thank you for putting that into the correct words. Now I can notice that if there is a famous band or famous person or famous YouTube channel that is doing a tour, you can see below the video if there is something called, they are on tour, the nearest location is this. So it kind of tells you already when they are coming as well. So they can say Kansas or Missouri or Colorado, somebody of those neighbors, such as Oklahoma, and say they are coming there. Also, if the more you watch, the more YouTube knows what you like, and it will bring things to you. I wanted to have a good night of sleep, and it was cold, and I have my heater on, but I didn't have a fireplace. So I searched on YouTube just like fireplace relaxation or like something like that, and I found up to 8 hours of footage, just actual firewood being
really
burning, just like
So
just like
a backdrop.
yes, that's it. It can be a backdrop if we can put it here instead of it will be like way you're heating up. The TV won't be that hot. It's not gonna burn or anything. But sometimes they put it mute. There's nothing but like the wood
flame.
cracking. Other than that, sometimes put relaxation music and you can listen to it.
Can you find it right now?
Yep. It's not real. It's something on TV. It's not gonna provide you with an actual feeling. But it will bring a little bit of it, where you kind of feel warm.
Totally.
You know?
I know. I wish you could do it right now.
I don't want to turn my back to the camera.
Okay.
Oh.
I think it's neat.
It is pretty neat.
I think
You
it'd
can
be
also
funny.
find waterfalls. You can find even fish bowls, just like a fish moving here
Yeah.
and there. I once missed my AC's noise back in Saudi, and I have that AC
You
noise.
miss the air conditioning sound
And I searched for that AC white noise, and boom, it's there.
on YouTube.
10 hours of that.
Amazing. What?
Just
is
like,
it? Really?
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. That's cool.
So you get what you search for.
Yeah.
No, whatever
true, you
you
do.
imagine, it's like whatever you imagine, you cannot imagine how much footage there is. How, like, if you thought of it, somebody else already thought of it and produced it, and it's already on YouTube since 2016.
True.
But there are
Definitely.
other people who are working very hard. Some of them are actual companies, some of them are small groups, some of them individual
Mhm.
efforts.
Mhm.
Information and education wise, there is TED. Some of them have 20 minutes
Power discussion.
power discussion.
Uh-huh.
Some of them have 4 minutes of that. There is one channel that I actually follow, which has 4 minutes of animation where they explain stuff and talk about things. So it's like a certain phenomenon, or how birds communicate. Do they have a language? Does coo, kaka, babies sound mean something?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think that little babies do talk.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are.
They do have a real language. Yeah, for sure.
They do. There is Vsauce. There is Vsauce 1, Vsauce 2, Vsauce 3.
What's that?
It's basic, like, not basic, it's actual science, but it's this guy, his name is Michael, and the other ones has other people on it, working on it. So Michael is like a person who was searching for a certain small phenomenon, and he would search videos from the 60s, experiments.
Is this a true story?
Yep.
Okay.
He would search almost everything about that person or about the experiment and bring it up again in order for, just bring it up for people. Some things that he can think about, what he thinks about it, kind of. And, you know, he does his research, but the other guy does kind of the same thing, but he's a film major, so he would see more visuals out of it. So where he can put himself in a video twice, where he's here and shooting the video on the other side as well, and shooting the video, and you can see both sides without seeing the actual camera. I don't know how he does it. I think that one Vsauce 2 or 3. There's also Veritasium, and there is the infographic show. And if you want to entertain yourself, there is a channel run by a person called Ryan Higa. He does 5 to even 20-minute videos. He has about 23, maybe 20 million followers so far. And he has his
How
own
much are
merch
those
and
people?
stuff.
What do you think people are making? Do you think he's making money?
He is plenty. If you see his house, you will know.
Really?
He's like on the top of a hill in Vegas,
He's making this money off the internet?
off the internet.
What's he selling?
Well, one of the things is making video YouTube
Okay.
things, and other things, mostly maybe, you know, shirts and stuff. He has, what is that called? Branding?
Yeah, he's
Most
branded
likely.
himself.
So he goes on tours sometimes and so on. It's one of the things. There is another show what made me do this show, actually. It's called Good Mythical Morning. It's a
Good?
Good Mythical Morning.
Good Mythical Morning, okay.
Which what made me basically have an appreciation of two people that sits in front of
Okay.
a camera every day and
Mm.
produce up to 15 minutes of content every day
Okay.
and release it to YouTube on weekdays and so on. And so they play not video games, they play games. They play things that they know each other. They've been friends since childhood too. So they were in South Carolina, I think, and then they moved to LA. And what they do is pretty amazing. When I found them, they were like 12 million, but now there are 14. They talk about various things, like 5 inventions, like is traveling to the future or something, or to the best as possible or not. But they started, or I appreciate them long enough to watch their podcasts as well. They used to do a podcast where they do only an audio version, but they started to do a video version as well. And there's a person called Vanos where all he does is play video games. He started out really early and just like reach out to people who are doing the same with him, and now he has 24 million viewers. That's pretty much, and that's a lot. But it takes a lot of devotion to do that. And
Right.
I'm saying that YouTube can bring a lot to a person if he's
agree.
devoted enough. Sometimes you just get lucky and be famous, right? So what is TV is doing these days to people? I've noticed that cartoons and even adult shows are just, other than just like storytelling shows such as like Supernatural or horror stories or American Horror Stories or How I Met Your Mother or something. I'm talking about reality shows. I've noticed that the camera cuts from a close-up to a medium to a close-up to a medium shot to a wide shot to a medium to a close-up and so on. And they are like almost, each one of them is almost 1 second or maybe less sometimes. So what does that do is makes me like, what am I watching? Am I supposed to watch or just wait for the camera to switch? I cannot even concentrate on anything without the camera switching to another view. And I watched like British or European produced reality shows such as like cooking shows and stuff. The camera stays there for up to 5 minutes or so. And same thing goes with Snapchat. Snapchat have 10 minutes of seconds, like sometimes less, and that skips to the next photo or video. And if you are as a user, I actually notice other people do it too. They even don't wait for those 10 seconds to finish. So they just skip to the next one and to the next one and to the next one. They don't stay. They don't have the capacity to concentrate.
They don't have the attention span.
The attention span to concentrate.
They also don't have the attention span for commercials. So that's one of the big ways in which the media companies and advertisers have gotten people to become more consumer driven is by mandating that the videos that we watched are preceded by 5 to 10 second long advertising spots.
Yeah.
And that a lot of people go through them quickly to get away from them. And in that process, we're just like fast forwarding through all this content, and that's kind of like life. People want to fast forward through their lives sometimes.
Yeah.
And
I will
forget.
listen to this music. I'm bored. I want to listen to that. I'm bored. I'm bored. I didn't get bored before I search for it. So that affects the educational process, because educational process is not that easy, because someone has to sit and actually listen and spend the effort for that professor or for that PowerPoint to go through. What is it, 15 minutes? More than that, sometimes up to that 50 or an hour of that class. And you need to pay attention to all of that. And I find it difficult, even for me. I noticed it on me, on other classmates as well. We would just, every once in a while, we'd just look at our phones to get distracted a little and then come back. Maybe if education went through and came back to us through social media or through what we watch and enjoy, maybe on that way we'll become more acceptable, I can say. But it is already acceptable, but I'm saying for more people to do that. So some educational shows or YouTube shows or channels started to pick up on that already, or already picked up on that and noticed we have to make educational material cool.
It's called edutainment.
Cool entertainment. So
Cool entertainment, but it's called edutainment, education that is entertaining.
Yep.
There's an actual term. I didn't create it.
Well, I know that now.
You know it now? Okay, well, I didn't come up with it, but I've always loved using it because I feel it's appropriate.
It is pretty appropriate. So,
like I would say, Barney is edutainment. Mr. Rogers was edutainment. Sesame Street is edutainment. And even Bubble Guppies or Paw Patrol or any of that stuff is edutainment. Because they're educating. They're educating our kids. I mean, I watch these programs with my children, so I know what's going on. I feel learned. I feel taught some cool stuff. Yeah. I love these programs, actually. I think I don't let my children watch programs that are bad.
You have to go through the footage.
Mm-hmm.
One of the examples I already mentioned it's Vsauce. It's usually pretty serious, but sometimes he put things to poke at the meme society, and they say that they would make memes out of him. And it would be funny for some people, but for other people, I'm curious enough to look that person up. Oh, he is on my cool side of a memory. And when I am entertaining myself, I would see that person and laugh too. Why don't I search for him? They would search for him and see. They would just gain knowledge. So there is enough curiosity, because that educational YouTube channel has been brought to them through their entertainment, personal entertainment, which is memes. Failure is the first step of success. FAIO,
Totally.
first attempt in learning.
Totally.
I like to fail.
I like to have a appropriate amount of setback that will allow me to strengthen and improve the overall agenda. I do not like to fail, but I know that setbacks are part of the growth and development process. So I'm okay with that. But I don't like to fail. But
That is pretty difficult
to not fail.
to fail too. If you never failed, you will never learn.
Oh, I fail a lot, but I don't like it. But like I said, I'm just using a different term. I like to be, I like to learn the agenda and the protocol and the boundaries. So I'm always up to learn. And in that process, I will be wrong from time to time. Actually, a lot. Just depends on what it is.
Well, I fail one side and I learn from it. And then I fail from another side and I again learn from it.
So
and then from the third side and I learn from that. And then
Those are the perspectives. So you're gaining a perspective on the boundaries required in whatever you're talking about.
It feels like whatever goes around comes around in a way. Like in my early years in the United States, I skipped on actually studying for a certain course, which is like reading course, right? I kind of skipped on it where I kind of like, what was that called? Con my way into passing it. I did not cheat, but I just conned my way into it. And eventually, after 4 years, I ended up taking the last level of ESL English on reading.
Oh boy.
See what came around to me again, and I took it.
What happened?
I passed though.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
All right, good
But
thing.
still,
you told me that stuff's hard.
it's not easy.
I didn't have to do it. I think it'd be difficult if I was going to Saudi Arabia. I had to learn your language, take your Saudi equivalency tests, both speaking and written. Impossible.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
That is pretty
You
much
did
the
great.
same for us.
Oh, that's
but we
amazing.
kind of have dreams. We kind of have.
I think it's weird that the dreams are in America. I don't know. I think
Well-
I have dreams that are like, I have dreams of Switzerland. I have dreams of Paris. I have dreams of The Middle East. I love the Middle East. I have dreams of the Pacific Rim.
Let's just call it a bus stop, where
Ah.
you kind of like come here and wish for things and actually go back or go somewhere else to
Okay.
actually do that.
Okay. Well, I think that America is a beautiful place with a lot of opportunity. But if you look at other countries, and if you look at the direction of our country has gone,
It's just pretty well branded from the outside.
it's well bred. Everything about this place is branding and money making.
That
A lot
is
of it.
it.
A lot of it is. And I'm sure that's very attractive for people who live outside of this place. But then you come here and you have to learn the system and you have to learn the protocol for the archetype industry you're in, and you have to learn it inside and out. To win at it, you have to learn it inside and out. And I say people who travel here to learn the systems are brilliant people. I mean, they started doing all different types of work. I will say, and I'm not trying to be prejudiced or anything or stereotypical, but the people that I've met who have come over here from all different places felt and found that taxi driving was like the easiest way to get in and make money. It's just how it was. New York, LA, Boston, taxi driving. They're immigrants. It's incredible. From all different nationalities. And their dream did take flight because they started making money. It's incredible.
It is. Well, I came here kind of to learn. When I started, or when I kind of learned the system in here, it made it easier for me to look back at my country and can say, like, I can learn on that too. I can learn on other systems too. Kind of the system here is kind of so difficult that makes other systems easier.
Mm-hmm.
So many paperwork for a passport and a visa.
Wow. I bet. For a American or for a Saudi?
No, well, I don't know our process actually, because I have the other way
Okay,
around.
okay.
But for the American visa, it's even for a visitor, it's
Oh,
pretty
right.
difficult.
The visa, not the
It's
passport.
not difficult.
I thought
It's just pretty
passport.
hectic. A lot of paperwork.
Oh, I bet it's
involved.
horrible.
Yes,
I was talking of the passport.
and you have to get into the embassy without your phone. How boring is that? Without watching my Instagram stories. We have 3 minutes until we're out. So. The tip of the day: wear some gloves and wear some old clothes and clean up your house. It is pretty difficult. It is pretty effortful. It is maybe, I don't know, if you're lazy to do it, but play some
good soul music.
some good soul music, sing
some
to
good,
it, and clean your house.
Motown. I think Motown's great to clean.
Or
your
Leonard
house.
Skinner, who cares?
Or Leonard Skinner.
I've done it last week. I just swept my whole furniture on one side and swept the floor and kind of like tidy up the place.
Good job, Mohammed.
And I went to the other side and did the same too.
Wow.
Thank you.
Good
It's
job.
not a big place. And afterwards, I just sat down and it's just like, this place feels great. This place
It
feels
does.
nice.
It does. It does.
Even though most things
Incredible.
are just in drawers, not on the counter, but it counts.
Cameron did Cameron cleaned up our home really, really spick and span yesterday because we had some visitors last night. My dad came over to visit, and God, it felt so great. She did such a great job. It changes the environment, doesn't it?
Yes. We are about 1 minute till we are out. So reach up to us on Twitter on hashtag Sweet Canal. Sweet Canal.
Yes.
If you are watching this on TV, search for Sweet Canal or local on YouTube and you will find us. And if you want to listen to this live, tune in on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. on k-ro.org. That was Moe Alabdullah.
And this is Luke Cole.
And thank you for watching.
Sweet Canal.